bus provider. I mean, technically want one, sure. Right, want rails. It's pretty much... I don't need to bring the stone down, but I will bring down the steel. Actually, what I should do here is... Well, you know what, that works still. We're also going to want an iron... iron plates brought down, and then as soon as that's ready, set up the iron stick production, and we're good. I will allow them to stockpile 4 stacks of rails. Here we go. $100 on the way, $100 on the way. Glorious. Now, I also want to pull down the mines. Any mines that we have available here. Might not actually have that many. In fact, yeah, it doesn't seem that I do. So unfortunately, that's going to be something I'm going to have to make as we go. There we go. We've started production of rails. Now, my plan is to have a station right here. Probably a dual station. So, one for dropping off defensive supplies, one for picking up the fruit. Well, okay, so... I'm not going to be picking up a full train's worth of loot of fruit. I'm not even going to be picking up a full carriage's worth of fruit. Not at once from a single place. So, stands to reason I certainly don't need any more than a single carriage for the fruit component. I could have a train with 2 carriages. The rear carriage is kind of like a supply caboose. Hail, Rabbit Pickles. How you doing, mate? I think this may... Yeah, I think we can do away with a separate supply and pickup station at each location by simply using a one-stop station. The only issue with that is that I would need to make sure that I was thinking of having a double-headed train just because of how little space we've got. But if you're dealing with double-headed trains, when it comes to having different functions for the different carriages, you have to make it so that it doesn't matter which facing it has when it pulls in, because there will be times when it could be turned around somehow, potentially. Right? I mean, as long as it always goes between a pickup and a drop-off, I suppose it wouldn't hurt that much. As long as there was only one. Well, still, it's probably best to make the system robust. Otherwise, you hit a problem where you can easily end up clogging the system. That did not take them long. Wow. Alright. Let me go and grab some iron and gears. And I will do my best to set up a couple more of those miners. I have a feeling we're going to be using a lot of them. You're right over there, Tilly. Tilly is being very, very inclined to be wherever I've been since her vet visit. There we go. Everything looking okay in there. I mean, it looks like a mess, but you know, it's serving its purpose. Well, that's generating a bit. I'll expand it out as we need. We don't actually use a lot of stone here, it feels. Okay, so time to have a think. If I did go about placing rail, probably want station somewhere around here. Bring that rail down there. I would also want the station coming up. And there we go. This would probably be called drop off. I'm not going to need to do too much with this. But just in case. The question is... Actually, this would be the depot, I suppose, when you think about it. Okay, so chat. What is your opinion? I can make a one-way train, but it's going to require a significantly larger footprint just for the room for the track to turn around. We're not on a map with a lot of room, so I am feeling a double-headed train. But I'll give this choice to chat. Would you prefer a 1-2-1 or a 1-2? We're not going to need any more carriages than 2, though. Sorry, like cargo wagons. How big is the map? It's a decent sized map. It's just the terrain is very marshy. So there's lots of places that are going to make it difficult for us to navigate around it. Galactic Red Dragon says, how? I meant, sorry, autocorrelation. Wow, your phone hates you. I'm sorry. I feel that deep in my soul. Right, yeah. 1-2-1 depot. That'll be good enough. I can possibly give it a bit of a stacker. We'll see. Let's assume that I do give it a stacker. Let's assume that at most there can be 3 trains waiting. But now that I have 1-2-1, let's go into settings and change the train visualization length to 4. Right. With that, we're going to want an exit point. There. And in should be there. So if I now want this to be a stacked station, I would want something like that. with room for power poles in the middle. And I mean, that's okay, I think. Now the issue is I do need this to turn somewhat soon. So how can I even fit that much here? Not easily, no. Guess I could have the stacker down at this point. I'm gonna have to go down there anyway to go across. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go down at least that far. Actually, no. No. Let's tighten this a little bit. Let's tighten the rail. I don't see a particular... Not that tight. This will do. If we're optimizing for space, let's go all in. Now. Did I put that one on the back or the top? The bottom. Yeah. And what I mean by that is that this is 2 tiles wide, tall. Actually, it's 2 times wide as well. And I want these to always be on the bottom section when it's vertical now. Now that I have an idea. So here, for example. Should be there. Oh, that's in the wrong place. There we go. So that's one way. Right, let's go and help build these rails. I'm going to want a train stop. Let's make it. Gonna want a goodly number of these. I kind of want those to be made automatically because I will use those a lot. The train stops, not so much, but definitely the signals. And I can grab some of those from over here. So, gonna want more plate, as always I do. Okay. Actually, we can do a little bit of wizardry here. I'm tight on space, but I'm not tight on my understanding of combinators, and this is a powerful advantage. Let's park that there. I need 2 of these. One there, and one just above it. I want you to filter out the... well, no. No, it's going to be easier if I just pull this off with an inserter, as much as I hate doing that. So, the way this will work is I need a combinator, and I need to know how much is in this chest of something. And realistically, I would want to know what the contents of the network are. I wonder, can I read that from this? No, I can only read the contents in this chest. That's fine. So I'm going to set the recipe based on what I need. Because it uses the same materials either way. And when you have something that uses exactly the same recipe, because this is exactly the same recipe for either one, 5 iron plate and 1 electronic circuit, I can just toggle this based on what I want. I can do this in kind of one of two ways. I need a constant combinator. I'm gonna go the more slapdash method. I'm gonna have this activate enable if everything is less than 50. If all input signals meet this condition. So if everything in there... Oh, actually if anything is less than 50. Now that should disable this because there's currently no input signals. That's where this comes in. I want... Actually, the other way I could do is anything less than 0. And this can be negatives. So I want minus 50 of this. So I'm now saying, hey, I'm down 50. Keep going until these are both 0 effectively. The combination of these two. So on this network is that. Set recipe. No. No, let's not activate this because that's gonna... It'll get confused. I think. I want to control what is getting the recipe there. And that's going to be a lot easier if I run it through this. I can be very specific that way. If anything is less than 0. So that should be active now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that was unfortunate. Many, many things were damaged. There is a great sadness in me. I really do feel that I'm going to have to wipe those places out soon. And that is an even bigger sadness in me. Right. So, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to pass that along. And I simply want this select input. So input signals by count ascending or descending. Sorted by ascending. So the lowest item. Oh, actually, no, I need that to be red. And then that goes up to there, and that sets the recipe. Okay. Let's see if my logic works. Is it not setting the recipe? It's saying no recipe, and yet this is outputting a signal. Oh, has it got to be positive? It might have to be positive. Oh, that's okay. Well, in that case, then. Let's just see if that works. Yeah, that does work. Okay. So I'm going to say if anything is less than 50, we'll have to do it this way. Oh. Oh, when it switches recipe, it does unload. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. I was really hopeful that in that instance it wouldn't unload the things because it wouldn't need to. But I guess it just doesn't care in that particular scenario. So what I'm going to have to do here then is set filters. Oh no, set. Just take those out. There we go. Use those filters. Only unload that stuff. Oh, Pridwen. Pridwen just got damaged. Let's have a look. Pridwen did get damaged. Has Pridwen cut the pumps? Yes, these are disabled now. But there's already so much fuel in there. So it hasn't actually slowed Pridwen down. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, so took a bit of damage there. Every now and then that happens. I really would like it if it didn't. I could probably fit in an extra gun. I would just need to move around a little bit. Okay, don't have any more of the high quality guns. A lot more firepower there now. That's true. We could read velocity and limit speed by cutting supply, but that's effectively what happens if, because I don't want to just always limp around. Otherwise, I may as well just take two of these engines out. My idea was to immediately cut access to fuel or oxidizer, because that way this would only be getting 1/2 of what it needs. But the problem is it stockpiles a lot. So that does cause me a bit of issue. I can always add more guns. It's just that feels like a not a very sustainable option to try and resolve this. Mordenak says, I guess cut it sooner. Well, that's the problem, is that Pridwen only takes damage every nth voyage. Like, it's not consistent. Pridwen might take damage once a stream, and bear in mind I stream for like 16 hours, so it's not that the velocity is sustainably a problem. It's just occasionally RNG kicks us in the face. That's more accurate to the situation. Occasionally RNG just spawns some large asteroids, and my guns are a little bit too preoccupied fighting things that are, you know, not the most immediate threat. So my idea was, the second it took damage, to cut speed immediately, but there is no immediate cutting of speed. Alas. I can't even read how much fuel is in the engine, so I only allow a little trickle through as it gets low. Wait. I would lose access to my big stockpile if I did that. But I could do that. If I had this large tank of fuel further up, then what I could do at that point is have another tank further down, so 2 tanks. One is my actual stockpile of fuel, but the other is my limiter for the thruster. As then I would be able to have the pump functionally limit how much fuel was available. Well, no, sorry. That still wouldn't work. The thruster would soak up as much fuel as it needed, because as it was trickled in, this would take it out to the tank, so reading the tank would just tell me that there's too little in the tank, and I'd feed a little bit in. This would still eventually get to 1,000. Unfortunately. Yeah, because right... Okay, how much are you saying is in there? 12k. So you're reading only what's stored in the tank, not what's stored in the pipe. Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. The only other way to do it would be not to build up a stockpile at all until we're in flight. And at that point, only allow trickles in. A really small trickle. Because this can consume 120 a second. So if I limit my throughput to only allow 120 a second, can I do that? No. I don't believe there's a way for me to enable to limit how much throughput the pump is able to create. It can output 10 times more than the thruster needs at any one time. So that doesn't seem to be the way to do it either. Could I pump fuel out of the end? Now that is a good suggestion. Dogface says, I've seen someone limit input based on platform speed. Well, yeah, that's the thing, is I don't mind how fast we're moving. Like, I want to move there fast. I just, if we take any damage at all, I immediately want to drop to the lowest possible speed that I can travel at. I don't want to artificially limit my speed, like, at all. Like, genuinely, I want to be moving as fast as I can at all times. But I think you're onto something, chat. You clever so-and-sos. Ah, crap, no. I need this to be further away. Wait. No, we can do this. We can, in fact, do this. Okay, they're becoming a bit more of a problem. There we go. And now I need this to be a underground. Now, that should only be enabled when damage is above something. So, hook that across. Now, I'm assuming that this is going to be... I'm assuming it's going to be able to pump out. But there is no specific guarantee that that will work. Still, I think this is the best chance that we've got. So what will happen is once damage is received, this will engage and will pull fuel out. Now I can quickly simulate this. I think we should. By doing this. Now let's have a watch. This has currently got 1,000 fuel. This has got 1,000 oxidizer, and I want to pull it out. On. That should be reading D is something. Oh, my bad. On. Right, that is now pumping. No, it only emptied the pipe. God damn it. So no, it can't pull out of the thruster. That is a real shame, because that would have been such a cool way of solving that problem. Just evacuating the thruster instead. I mean, I guess I could just leave this there, but we'll turn it off. I may as well let it fill this pipe. That does sadden me, not gonna lie. I thought that was a really clever solution that chat came up with there. I thought you were being big brain chat. I know I've seen a way that turns off thrusters if the ship goes above a certain speed. Oh yeah, the solution is probably going to be more guns, but I don't know what I'm going into, whatever problem I'm facing. And I can think I have enough guns, but not. And if that ends up being the case, what would I rather? Lose the ship and just be like, oh well, I should have added more guns, or there's something bad happening, at least try to take evasive maneuvers and then add more guns later. You know, I just don't... I wish there was a way that I could just cut the engines. Oh? Oh, is it... No, it's not. It's just that the thruster fuel is running low. I do like that there's loads of oxidizer in this one, but there's no fuel. There's too much fuel in this one. There's no oxidizer, so... But until they've completely run out, there's not much we can do about it. A shame. Oh, there we go. Speed is zooming up now. Interesting. Turn that off. Speed is super zooming. Oh, do lasers not work in space? Meteors are surprisingly resistant to being heated up. Yeah, that is a real shame, in my opinion. There's no way of just killing the engines like that. I can read the speed. I can absolutely take that and be like, okay, well, I'm only going to feed energy in, you know, as if we're moving at a slow speed. But that's just not what I'm looking for. I wanted something more controllable. Oh, well. Anyway, it is what it is. Oh. We have lost... Oh, Roboport. Okay. Need to go and take care of that then. There's the tank. I mean, if you... There are certain infinite researchers in this game, so, I mean, you can absolutely make lasers powerful enough. It just takes a hell of a lot of effort. A lot of resources and research. You can do it. It's just... There's other ways that are probably more useful. There we go. Apologies for my repeat if you saw my message, but I have a working prototype to pump out the fuel from engines. Do you want a blueprint string in the Discord? No, but you're welcome to describe what you use for pumping out the engines, because I'm literally got a pump attached to the engines that doesn't do it. Or does it literally need to be attached to the engine? Because maybe a pump will only remove what's currently... Oh, that is probably it. That is in fact probably it. That wouldn't work with my current setup, sadly. But if that is what we need to do, then that is perfectly fine. I'm happy to redesign that. It's not directly attached to the thruster. I have a pump in which is active if D is 0, and then a pump on the other side of the thruster that works when D is above 0. Let me just have a look at something. The icons on this are bidirectional, but perhaps it is unidirectional once it has entered the system. Awkward if so. Super awkward if so. Still, I will definitely look into setting that up. Just not right now. But thank you for putting me on to something there, Rose. Much appreciated. But yeah, okay. That will work then, I guess, at some point. I need to move the thrusters further apart, but I would be able to pump the fuel out in that case then. It certainly isn't an ideal solution. But if I move the thrusters one to the side, I'd have to move a lot one to the side, but I could make room for it. We'll see. See, we don't have a particularly high maximum acceleration. Though I am wondering why my speed is limited. Like, my thrusters are still burning. I should just continue to speed up. Honestly, I would love it if they force you to build this like a proper ship, as in you've got forward thrusters and you've got reverse thrusters, and if you don't have as much reverse thrust as you got forward thrust, and you have to start braking a lot sooner. Actually, no, I think I can make this work. If this does work, I'm going to be very impressed with myself. I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm not going to be impressed with myself. I'm going to be legitimately happy. So, I'm afraid I'm going to have to say goodbye to you again. I only just put you in there. I know. Life is unfair. But it's the life you've got. So, I need to rotate you, like so. I need to remove these, like so. Ah, balls. I'm going to need to bring this down a little bit more. So I can do this. A beautiful ship design. It's becoming less beautiful by the second. You know what? I kind of like the jankiness of having some things exposed on the back. Like, piping exposed at the back feels oddly right. Now my sincere hope is that that still pumps, because there's no guarantee it will. It can be very janky sometimes. At this point, it'll pump it back out. Should there be an issue. Alright, let's hook you up. Right, here's the test then. Let's turn it on. Nope. It emptied the pipe, but it did not empty the thruster. Thruster's fuel is still fine. This one stopped putting fuel into the system, but this one is not taking it out, and there is room. Are you sure that it was working the way you suspected? Like, are you absolutely certain that it was draining the thruster, Rose? Oh, maybe I need to set the filter. Let's try that. Let's try and make sure it knows what it's trying to pull out. Maybe that's been the problem the whole time. Turn that back on. I mean, it drains that side, certainly, but then it stops. They dropped some in a blueprint string. They dropped Hoxtop a blueprint string. Hoxtop is going to double check. Could even be like a version difference. Well, that's okay. Anyway, we spent a fair bit of time on that now, so we'll hang back a little bit. Focus on other things. All right, what was I doing down here? That is not what I wanted. Sag. I could... do that. Currently outputting that I want this. Okay, yeah. No. Annoying, but that is a shame. Alright, so what I would need to do is I would need to set this to only output a single signal until something is less than 50. I'm gonna grab you. I can absolutely do this a different way. I'm now just trying to solve a puzzle. And as I've mentioned before, the solving of puzzles is part of the stuff that I love the most. Right. If... do I need to sort it? I mean, I could just make one until it's 50 and then keep making it, and then once that stops, switch over. If any of the input signals meet the condition, it will pass. It is false if there are no outputs. Okay, so if anything is less than 50, output that item. It's only outputting a single thing. And it almost certainly will only output a single thing, so I don't need this anymore. And I just pass that along. It'll make those until it's ready, and then we'll set the have a blacklist. I'll have a provider chest there just to get rid of any gubbins. I mean, it would be better if it was putting things back. No. Oh. Oh. Should be each. Let me take those out and see how that works. Oh, still need to take some more out. Oh. Wait a second. It can take both. You absolute scallywag, you. I guess it'll switch over when one of them stops. So let's pop those in. This is now only outputting that, so it's switched over. Yeah, there we go. That's all we needed. Right, let me request 50 of each. So I'm going to say less than 100. There you go. The other thing I could do is just push things back onto this belt with a priority. That wouldn't be difficult. Kind of an annoying use of this, but... So... Again, at this point, I am purely solving a puzzle, no more, no less. I'm under no illusions that this has long since lost any usefulness because the amount of extra stuff I'm having to add to make it do its thing. Yep. And there we are. They get reinserted. Oh, goodness. I should really have gone out on the other side, but okay. There's a way to make that quite easy. I'm simply going to copy this, pop that here, and do that. This forces anything out on that side. Actually, I need to remove that. It shouldn't be filtered. There we go. So yeah, anything that goes through will now come out on that top side. Oh, actually, no. I think the filter was working okay. Yeah, no, that's perfect. It'll go up the correct way now. All right, let me drop off these. That'll switch over. Make sure that works. Yep, these get inserted in. Those go through that side. There we are. Again, far from useful at this point, but a fun little logic puzzle to sort out. I'm not trying to make an omni smelter. There was just an item that had exactly the same inputs for the two things I wanted. My initial hope, and why I actually did it, like literally the whole reason behind me doing it, was that I believed that the system would, when it switched recipe, wouldn't try to output all of its ingredients because they're exactly the same ingredients, but it still does. So that greatly diminishes the point in the system, sadly. I imagine that Factorio will get a lot of extra planets modded in. I strongly suspect that to be the case. Let's just get all of these belts updated. Get those numbers down a little bit. When you're saying Space Age borrows a few ideas from the previous mod called Space Exploration, am I remembering correctly that the Woob simply hired the mod maker from Space Exploration and it was their job to make Space Age? So it literally it borrowed ideas from and quite literally. So everyone who's like, oh yeah, they borrowed things. I realize that some of you don't mean it like this. So this is me saying ahead of time, I know that you are not the sorts of people who just make, you know, kind of comments and poo-poo something like this. You know, being offended on behalf of the mod maker who is now collecting I assume a significantly better wage for their work on Factorio mods, because they're being paid for them by the developers because their work was that good. I do just want to put that out there because look, I've seen that so many times. Yeah, I borrowed it from this. Literally the author, the inventor of that thing, brought it over. it's a little bit more than, oh, they just borrowed these ideas. The person who invented those ideas decided to also apply them here. It is a little bit different. There is a nuanced difference there, I feel. Oh wow, Manglepok says, also turns out that guy is a fan, and the original design of Fulgora was partially inspired by my Factorio's Town series. That's awesome, Bentham. I imagine it's not a, like, I imagine that it's not a direct implementation of stuff from space exploration, but I'm also going to say that if you invented the wheel, the nice round smooth driving wheel, and then you did it as just like a hobbyist thing excuse me, for all of these square wheeled horse and carriages, you thought you could do better, so you modded it, and you were doing this work for free because, you know, you didn't invent the carriage. You just saw something that you could improve, and then the carriage inventor was like, hey, you know what, you've got some good ideas, let's get you over here. Would you just design a better square wheel, or would you be like, you know what, I've got a cool idea, I've been working on this little invention in my spare time, it's called the round wheel? Would you not simply straight up wholesale apply that to the new project? Because I'm gonna be honest, if you don't think developers do that, allow me to introduce you to libs. Developers will take every opportunity they can to not have to reinvent the wheel, unless they get something like just a kick out of solving a puzzle, like I do. Like, I designed this, not because it was going to be radically great, it's just because, there is a puzzle. I can solve the puzzle. I enjoy doing puzzles. It makes me have the happy feels when I succeed at a puzzle. There's quite a lot of people who will re-implement a library just because they can, because they want to take a stab at solving that puzzle. And sometimes it leads to better versions of the library. Oftentimes it does not. Oftentimes it just leads to another version of the library that does something in a slightly different way and has different flavors of bugs in it. That's probably 80% of the instances. It's like, haha, I've improved on this, really? Then why is this broken? Oh. Well, but look at this other part, that's better. It's like, well, yes. They both now suck in the same levels, just in different ways. They are functionally sucky. But, alas, they are both imperfect. But again, I realize that was probably a rant that didn't need to happen. I'm sure no dappling would just be sat here kind of grumping at what has been achieved with space age because of the existence of space exploration. But I have seen that online a little bit, and it's like, come on, it's like the mod to develop a pipeline is the dream. Why are you making it bad? If people keep doing this, then mod authors will never get hired because the studios will be like, well, I'm just going to be shouted at either way. And you will kill the dream for someone else who you were being offended on behalf of. They didn't even want you to be offended. All right, I need to get on there and pop that into place. Is everything sorted? No, I still need bullets. Bullets! Deliver themselves unto me. I mean, if somebody's going to complain about lifting stuff from other places, you might as well stop eating, because none of your food's originally there. How do you know I don't eat my own arm? How very presumptuous of you Just because you lack the ability to regenerate your limbs for less nutrients than it costs to build them. Terrible. Or less nutrients you get from eating them, rather. That's just a skill issue, my dude. But no, you're absolutely right. I don't know. People just... I'm a little bit sensitive to this because, like I said, if enough people make developers miserable when they're doing it the right way, like literally, this is 100% the correct way of doing it. This is the fair trade version of implementing ideas that existed in a mod. You hire the author and pay them a lot of money and let them do it. So it's not even you're taking their idea and doing your own version of it. You're literally giving them the option to do it. And they're being paid. If people complain enough, then developers will stop doing it because they'll be like, it's not worth the headache. And that will be tragic. I don't know what I said to set Aavak off. Like I said, I know the you didn't mean it that way. I literally prefaced it like 3 or 4 times just in hopes that point got through. Apparently it did not. I'm not sure if that was a fault on my part or a fault on yours. I'm going to blame you because I am blameless. However, it is something that comes up a lot. And saying things like, oh yeah, it's borrowed ideas. It's like, no, it didn't borrow the ideas. It straight up took them. With consent from the author, because the author was the one who did it. But again, Devilfish, like I said, I know that it wasn't coming from you in that way. Hence the preface. Oh, well, I can't say I know with certainty. I choose to believe that it wasn't coming from you in that way. I credit you with more dapperosity than that. This was more of a kind of a hypothetical aside. Well, not even hypothetical. There are plenty of people who take it in that direction. And again, I know that I am a bit sensitive about it. And so, you know, there is that part of me that's like, hey, you know, just a heads up. I'm about to get passionate about a topic. God damn it. I'm being punished. I don't need those bullets. Thank you very much. Bullets supplied. I am really thinking I need to go up there, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to take it on. Is Tang Chan up to this? Maybe. Alright, let's go. It's time. That was all part of my cunning plan. The Stompers were watching, and by clearly being a bad driver in their eyes, not actually, it's just a ruse. I'm going to lull them into a false sense of security. Right, what I want is for you to follow me, ideally. I can outrun you, it seems. Ooh, not as much as I would like. I can outrun you on solid ground. I'm going through so many of my bullets. Right, well, while you're distracted over here, Malado. Come on, Tang Chan. That rocket fuel is not for show. We need to take these out whilst you're elsewhere. Before they spawn more. Okay, you're about to die. There we go. Now back in. Come back through, grab the eggs. Okay, so Tank Chan made that significantly easier. I am greatly happy. What are you doing following me around with a belt? You're mad. I love you, but you're mad. 3 of you. Yeah, no, they are super resistant to physical, which is why I was putting off dealing with it. I shouldn't, but it's why. Down there is going to be just as rough. But that will remove some of the combat a little bit. But we need to get these eggs back to the base and kickstart our egg production again. Oh, we almost broke our water pipe. Okay, so that is one nest cleared, but this one is going to continue producing things, and I can only assume that is a big stomper. That is a big stomper. I need it to be cleaned out, really. We'll see. Why am I doing this on foot? Yeah, that rocket fuel absolutely put in work there. The fact that we were faster than the Stomper kept us alive. As long as I wasn't being slowed down by acid, we were good. How far are we from rockets? Like space rockets? Probably not that far, if I'm perfectly honest. Like I could throw up a very basic system. Yeah. One train can be there. That's my stacker. So now I need to branch this and take it up there and down there. Although honestly, if I've only got one train on it, there isn't even really a need for that. I can just make it a double-headed track for now. Yeah, why am I adding so much extra work for me? Now, of course, later on, if I want to move anything else by on this rail, that is going to cause me an issue. But for now, we'll do it like this. There's planning for the future, and then there's getting in my own way. And this was definitely the latter. I will leave this little area there for the branch, though. It's useful to have it. Well, actually, thinking about that, maybe not. If I do get rid of that now, And I can branch that much earlier. Into map mode. Actually, let's bring it down a little bit and branch. Then this one could potentially... No, I'd have to go over those cliffs. I do definitely need to go all the way down for the jelly nuts. There's no getting around that part. I want it to be straight, whatever it's doing. Sure. Around there. And then we can branch straight up here. That seems reasonable. I'll lay the signals once I've laid all of the track. That way I can measure them out properly. Am I out of... Oh, yeah. Okay. Guess we're going to go and grab some landfill. Probably put that signal somewhere around there once we're on the straight. There. Though, let's make sure that I am actually... It is still a junction after all. It's a good habit to have, in my opinion. Oh, can I not? Oh, there we are. These new angles are quite nice. Though I definitely still struggle a little bit with the placement. I think that's very much a me thing, though. Where are those? Now then. I am most likely going to create a system where it'll only let the farm harvest when a train is there. And in turn, that will give me my control over... as well. That'll give me control then over how often the pollution is being created, or the spores. This will be Numako fruit pickup. Train limit of 1. The priority will be set by something else. So for now, I just want to get it working. Though I suppose I could just throw something together. Along those lines, it would just be a clock. Just a counter. Ticking up. Slowly. Let's make sure I've got some power over here. Let's pop that there. P. Output is 1. I want a decider. If... Is that going to... Yeah. If P is less than... How do we want to do this? Actually, no. We want to control this based on T. Whether there's a train in the stop is equal to 0, then output P, or rather output 1p. This way it counts up. Right. Read stopped train. Set priority. So as long as there isn't a train here, it'll start the count again and start going up. And so this will be... what was it? Was it 66 a second? This is purely vanilla facts. Well, you know, this is on beta 2.0.16. So it's on the latest beta, but otherwise completely completely vanilla. And we pop this right there. Oh, actually, I need that to be the red wire, not the green one. Right. Actually, no, it has to be input count. Because the input count will continually go up. If I don't do it this way, then it won't work. If I just output 1, it'll only ever go to 2, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so then I take the green wire there, and did chat remember? Chat, could you remind me if you know how many ticks in Factorio that the combinators work on? Excuse me. It is 60, so I want this to be whatever P is divided by 3,600. That'll give me every minute, and then output P. So this will go up by 1 a minute. So every minute, this priority increases. Is how that should be passed. We do not need such a chunky power pole for this. That will do. So as you can see, that's going up. That's not passing it through. So the priority here is 0. The higher priority train will stop will be served first. So effectively this is making it so that across 255 minutes, this will eventually be the highest priority. Now, only when a train is stopped here do I want this to start producing. So at this stage, I want the green wire to link here over to there. Can I get it over there? Yes, I can. And at this point, I'm not going to shut this down yet until I've got a train that works on the system, but... Oops. Can I see the... Yeah, that's fine. So as you can see, that's now priority 1. And it'll slowly rise. Okay, that's fine. Now, with that train stop here, there's going to be 2 carriages. One for unloading supplies needed by the logistics network. I will set up a control system for that. However, right now, I'm going to make that set filters. So they won't unload anything right now. But once they do, they'll make it available to the whole logistics now. I might move all of this up, by the way, just so it's a bit more in line. But I don't want to break this system just yet. I won't know. All right, no. I'm going to need to do this very differently. Again, since I won't know which direction it's going to be facing, and only the front carriage, like what I was going to do is have 1 carriage for the fruit, 1 carriage for supplies. But in reality, as long as I don't try to overload the train with stuff, I can just load it up with the necessary seeds up to a certain amount. Because the agricultural plant can't hold more than 30. If I carry, I'm not even sure how much the seeds stack to. Is there any way of seeing that? I guess there is. Pick some up. Yeah, they only stack to 10. So if I carried, I don't know, 50, then I'll always have some. I could carry 60. I could carry twice as many seeds as I need. Drop them off. Head back. Or I could literally only ever drop off 30. Because the idea would be that we would grab as much as we possibly could. What are we seeing over there? Okay, it's gone. There's too much going down over there for me to be able to easily handle it. I very clearly need more cannons, though.